Why viewers create stories that never happened. When we look at a photograph, we often believe we are simply observing reality. A frozen moment, a recorded fragment of time, something that happened exactly as we see it. But the truth is more complicated. Because the moment we look at an image, we begin to do something else. We begin to imagine, and often, we begin to create stories that never actually happened. Not intentionally, not consciously, but naturally. The human brain is not designed to passively receive visual information. It is designed to interpret it, to organize it, to give it meaning. A photograph may show a simple scene. A person sitting alone, a street at night, a figure standing near a window. But the viewer does not stop at what is visible. The mind immediately begins asking questions. Who is this person? Why are they alone? What happened before this moment? What will happen next? And in answering these questions, the brain begins to construct a narrative. This narrative is not part of the photograph. It is created by the viewer. Yet it feels real. This is where something fascinating happens. Over time, these imagined narratives can become attached to the memory of the image itself. A viewer may later remember a feeling of sadness that was never explicitly shown. They may recall a sense of tension that existed only in interpretation. They may even remember details that were never present in the photograph at all. This is not a flaw in perception. It is how meaning is built. Psychologists have shown that human memory is not a perfect recording system. It is reconstructive. Each time we recall something, the brain rebuilds it using fragments of information, emotion, and imagination. As a result, memory and interpretation often blend together. Photography becomes part of that process. A photograph provides a stable image, but the mind surrounding it is always changing. Different moods lead to different interpretations. Different life experiences lead to different readings of the same image. What felt neutral at one moment may feel emotional at another. What seemed simple at first may later feel complex. In this way, the photograph becomes a catalyst rather than a conclusion. It does not contain a single story. It generates many possible stories. Some of those stories are shared. Others remain private, and many of them never actually occurred in the real world. Yet they still shape how we remember the image. This is especially powerful because photographs feel authoritative. They appear to show what was there. Unlike painting or illustration, photography carries an assumption of truth. Because of this, the stories we build around photographs can feel equally true, even when they are not. A viewer might believe they see loneliness in a portrait. Another might see peace. Another might see strength. None of these interpretations are wrong, but none of them are fully contained within the image itself. They are constructed in the space between what is shown and what is imagined. This is what makes photography so unique. It is both evidence and invitation. It gives us something to look at, and at the same time, it gives us room to create. Perhaps this is why certain photographs stay with us long after we have seen them. Not because they told us everything, but because they allowed us to complete the story ourselves. And in doing so, we often create versions of the image that exist only in our minds. Versions that feel real, versions that feel personal, versions that may never have happened at all. The photograph remains unchanged, but the story around it continues to grow. And sometimes, that imagined story becomes more memorable than the image itself. Because in the end, viewers do not just see photographs. They participate in them, and what they create in that participation is often a story that never truly existed.